Welcome back. Federal data shows the U.S. has had 246 massive natural disasters since 1980, costing taxpayers more than $1.6 trillion. That includes the most recent $19 billion disaster relief package to help hurricane, wildfire, and flood victims here and up and down the Mississippi. Raquel Martin reports some lawmakers say the current pay-as-you-go approach is a multi-billion-dollar financial disaster waiting to happen.
In the last 2 years alone, the U.S. has witnessed historic floods in the Midwest, deadly and destructive wildfires across the western coast, and record-breaking hurricanes leaving the entire island of Puerto Rico without power.
The yeas are 257.
So far, Congress keeps providing money to communities recovering after disaster strikes. This May, lawmakers pass yet another multi-billion-dollar relief package. But with federal data showing disaster spending skyrocketing each year, several Republican lawmakers are asking if the country can keep up.
It's definitely not sustainable.
Indiana Senator Mike Braun is one of 8 Republicans who voted against this year's relief package. He says Congress should abandon the pay-as-you-go system and instead start planning and budgeting for disasters each year.
We don't offset it, we don't plan for it. It's what makes this place run so dysfunctionally.
Congress has spent more than $1 trillion on disaster relief this decade alone, and 3 of the last 6 years have been the most expensive in U.S. history.
It's reaching the crisis point.
Democrat Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown blasted the plan for putting disaster victims at risk, saying in a statement, after blowing a $1.5 trillion hole in the budget, it's the height of hypocrisy for Republicans to suggest we can't afford to take care of Americans who've been harmed by these disasters. The bill remains in the Senate, but Brown hopes to push it through in time for this year's budget. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
A community-centered flood task force meets for the first time next week in Davenport. The task force, comprised of residents, business owners, elected officials, developers, and experts of the Mississippi River and flooding. The first meeting is Tuesday evening. Members expected to discuss the current flood response plan and work toward prioritizing what should be protected from future flooding. All right, well, check this out. Big boats in the Mississippi River between the Centennial and Railroad bridges have some of you curious and reaching out to Fox 18 News. We looked into it and learned the Army Corps of Engineers is dredging the river channel in this area. It's something it normally does, but it's a bigger job this year after all the flooding. Corps of Engineers officials tell Fox 18 News their efforts aren't getting in the way of any boaters who may be on the water this weekend. We'll get ready for some detours on River Drive, not due to flooding, but construction. Beginning Monday, westbound traffic will be detoured at Brady Street for up to 5 days for work on the Sky Bridge. The following week, eastbound traffic will be detoured at Ripley. The closures should end by July 19th. A 3-year-old boy fell into a sewer drain while watching 4th of July fireworks in Indiana. That begins our look around the Midwest. It happened around 9 last night in Evansville. The sewer drain is about 27 feet deep and had water in it. Police, fire, and emergency medical were called for the rescue. After an hour and a half, the boy was pulled out of the drain and immediately taken to the hospital. Thankfully, he was uninjured and is now back home with his family. Officials believe the drain pipe was left open from a previous job and the boy just stumbled in the dark. The 4th of July celebration at Chicago's Navy Pier ended in violence last night. Police say a 14 and 15-year-old boy were stabbed in a fight that began with people flashing gang signs. A 30-year-old man, a passerby, was stabbed in the face. Those stabbings took place outside the secure area at the pier, while inside the secure area, a stampede sent 16 people to the hospital. Witnesses say children were separated from parents. Some people fell down in the chaos.
That came in when you entered the pier. It just started collapsing, and it's so long that it just kept falling like a domino. As it hit the ground, it started making noise. People just started panicking. Some of the elderly were falling down because of the pushing. It was like a bottleneck.
Well, that stampede started after someone threw what police believed to be firecrackers into the crowd, and someone yelled there was a gun. None of the injuries from the stabbings or stampede are thought to be life-threatening. The scary moments for people on a bus in Wisconsin. As the driver pulled over to the side of the road, the bus erupted in flames. Suzanne Spencer reports the dangerous moments were captured on camera.
Oh, it was so intense.
The flames stopped Kathleen Praw at 76th and Layton.
Real wide orange flame, just really high. It was really startling.
Get off the bus!
it wasn't just her pulling over as this woman's husband rushed to help people get off that MCTS bus.
Everybody was like, where do I go? Because it's so hectic at this intersection.
Eric Young driving with a pretty clear shot of those flames.
The flames were so high and the firemen worked really quickly. They were able to get down and get the hoses out and make the fire out.
The bus pulled over about 4:20 on Thursday as emergency crews arrived quickly after.
It's incredibly rare for something like this to happen.
It's hard to see as at least 8 passengers got out quickly and the driver, who saw that smoke in his side mirror.
He noticed some smoke starting to come, so he did the right thing and immediately pulled over right behind us, and he had his passengers get off board with him.
No one was injured, but the flames leaving quite a bit of damage at the rear of the bus.
I felt better, way better. I was worried, and then I thought it's a good thing the bus didn't explode.
Suzanne Spencer reporting there. Most of the damage to the bus is concentrated on the back, and that's where the bus's engine is. Investigators are looking into whether any problems with the engine could have started this fire. Well, Democrats in counties around Illinois are getting ready to welcome a congressional leader to Springfield. The U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will be the 2019 speaker for the annual Democratic County Chairs Association brunch. The event is part of the Illinois Democrat Day at the State Fair. The brunch will be August 14th in Springfield. Tickets go on sale Monday, July 15th. Prices start at $75. A mixed bag in today's jobs report. It shows growth in hiring despite more filing for unemployment.